Hi guys and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Bailey Pegasus brindisi. I'm going to go through how to essentially set up and use the caravan if you were to get onto a site or wherever it may be, and it just gives you something to refer back to. So starting off, you have your jockey wheel at the front. The jockey wheel is used to level the caravan, and then you'll have 2 points either side and 2 points at the back for your legs. Your legs are used to stabilise the caravan after you have levelled using your jockey wheel. So first level and then stabilise. Do not attempt to jack up the caravan or level the caravan using the legs. Strictly just for stabilising. So we are using our test equipment today, and the only thing that I'm not going to go through, but I am going to explain, is the water system. So, your water system, you have your pump inside, which I'll show you as well, and it connects in this port here. So it connects just in there. You'll feed it through into an aquarol and push it in, and then once you're inside, you'll press the pump button. I will show you as well later on in the video what the pump looks like and a few tips for that. Then just here you have your flow. Your flow is used to get clean air into your boiler. So you don't have to do anything with this except make sure that there's no debris or leaves or anything like that on the outside. As long as it's clean, everything will work as intended for that. So, test equipment here, we have our test gas bottle full of gas, a gas hose connected on one side, excuse me, and then that feeds just into here. So you can hand tighten this to an extent and then just finish it off using a spanner. Twist on just like that, and then you want to twist to open this, just like that. Once it's twisted fully, that means gas will be coming into the caravan. The motor mover, I will show you how to operate the motor mover on the day of collection. Then just here you have 2 ports. These 2 ports are for your wastewater that will come out. So you'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to feed into a waste master. As long as they're open, everything will flow out as intended. Then last few bits on the outside, these 2 here are for your toilet. So this cap here, situated at the end with the gas bottle, opens up using your key, and this is where you'll feed in your water for the flush. We haven't got any water in right now just because it is freezing temperatures right now, but what you do, get yourself something like a watering can, can hold around 10 litres of water, and then get yourself some pink chemical as well, so it's nice and fresh as well. Feed that into there, and then just down below here you have your cassette for your toilet. So it sits behind these teeth here, which is where you want to have it for when you're traveling. Push up the orange handle, pull out, like so. Then once you get to your emptying point on site, twist this head to the side, open up the cap. Now the cap is quite important as well, and I'll show you that in a second. You want to tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually press in this vent button here, just like so. Then once you've done that one time, I do recommend swilling out with some fresh water, tilt, and again vent, so it's not smelly. Then on this cap here, you have some measurements in both metric units and I call them freedom units, I don't know what they're properly called. And this is for your blue chemical. So you'll fill your blue chemical to the desired amount in this cap, slot it back on here, twist that back on, put the stalk or head, whatever you want to call it, back to the central position, pick it up, and then very simply all you have to do is slide, and the orange handle will retract and go back behind the teeth, so it can't be removed without pressing up that handle. However, you don't want to travel with either of these two full, so that's how to empty this one. And to empty this top bit here, just situated over the top, you have this nozzle here. This nozzle, you open up the top, and that will remove all the excess water from inside there. Then the last little bit for the outside, you have your mains connection point just here. Open up the cap and just push the mains lead in. It's a 3-pin socket, very, very simple. And then if I just quickly open this up, just there, that is your point for your motor mover. So I'll show you how to do that on the day of collection, but it is a case of pushing in the red key and twisting it to the side. So that's everything for the outside. Now I'll show you in. Now, the first and probably the most important bit I do want to show you is situated underneath the right-hand side vent. Right here, you have your boiler. The boiler's a little bit loud right now because I've only just recently had it plugged in, and it is minus, I think, 2 outside right now. So it is working a little bit harder than it normally would, so it's making a little bit more noise. It's nothing to worry about at all. It will go a little bit quieter, you know, once all the temperatures are to the standard that you want it to be. But the main thing I want to focus on, obviously I've not shown you directly how the water works, but just here you have this blue pipe with this yellow lever just here. The yellow lever is currently in the vertical position. What that means is that any water inside the system is being drained out. When you want to use it, when you want to use your water, you flick it down to that point just like so, and that will allow water to pass through. I'm not going to pass any water through today, as it is minus temperatures, and we don't want the pipes to freeze and then burst. So have the switch down in the horizontal position for when you do want to use your water, and the vertical position for when you're wanting to drain. I do recommend draining from the months of November to March. Okay, so situated just next to the door, we have this here. This is almost like your main control panel. So what you have here, you have your main switch. So if I turn that off, nothing apart from, you know, like the gas for the hob or anything like that, or smaller bits will work. So if I turn that off, no lights will work, the awning light won't work, and the pump won't work. So have that down. Now, when you do have an aqua full of fresh, clean drinking water, push the pump button down. Now, what you want to do, once you push the pump button down, wait around 2 to 3 minutes, just so you can allow it to come through a little bit. Go over to the taps, open up the tap on both cold and then hot, and run it for around about 30 seconds. You want a nice, clean, steady, continuous stream. I'll also just quickly run through this here. This is your water pump. So this is where you would plug in to the point I was showing outside. You can see you have the connector points there. Plugs in, and then you can push down the top and it will lock it into place. You have this plastic bit here, which is used to cover the hole on the aqua. Then just at the bottom here, you have your strainer. The strainer has to sit at the bottom of the barrel, and what that allows is for the maximum amount of water to come through. And if it's not sat at the bottom, it may be a case that it begins to suck through air, which isn't what you want. Another thing, a lot of these do have a tendency to curl up. Not as much with this one because it is slightly weighted through the strainer, but do make sure that that is straight. But back to what I was saying, run that for 30 seconds. Then just here, you have your lights, and then you have your awning lights. So off, just check, off, press it in, on, just like so. And then as well, if you do want to test your battery, you can press in this button here, and it will show you 13.5 volts coming into the van. So that is coming in from the mains lead right now, but that's a nice steady amount. Okay, next up we have the Truma board. So this Truma board just here, this is what you'll use to control your heating, hot water, and also the power source you use for that. So currently in sleep mode, as it is green, so I'll press in this dial and you can see that it does light up. Whatever is flashing is what's currently on, so anything underneath this line here is what I can select. So right now we can see that it is flashing up on the flame. That just means it's getting to temperature. So press the caravan that has the thermometer in it. This is for the internal temperature of the van that you desire. So you can change the number using the dial. You can have it off, starting at 5 degrees, and then goes all the way up to 30, sorry. So let's say I wanted to select 28, go to 28 on the dial, press in on the dial, and then if I were to press in again, you can see that it's at 28. If I click it and want to get off, I press this button here, which is a back button. Next up, the thermometer in the water. This is for your temperature of your water. So you can either have it off, eco, which gets the water to 40 degrees, hot, which gets it to 60 degrees, or boost. Now boost, what it will do is boost the temperature of the water, so prioritize the water for 15 minutes to get it as hot as possible. This is ideal for when you're wanting to use a shower or something like that. But for now, because I don't have any water inside the system and I don't want to ruin the boiler, I'm gonna keep it off. So if, for example, I didn't want to select anything, I can use this back button again. Next up, we've got this canister with 2 lightning bolts. This is for what you want to use as your power source. So you can either have gas, a mixture of gas and 1 kilowatt, a mixture of gas and 2 kilowatt, strictly electric with 1 kilowatt, or strictly electric with 2 kilowatts. So today, I'm going to go for mix 2. What that does mean is that you can either use the caravan strictly through gas to heat the hot water and heat inside the van. You can strictly use electric with either 1 or 2 kilowatts, or use a mixture of both. Next up, this is fan speed, so eco or high. Very simple for that. I'm going to keep it eco for now. Next up, we have this timer. So you can set when you'd like the heating and hot water to come on. So let's say it's 1:10, and then it finishes at 2 o'clock. So first the hours, then the minutes. So let's say it's 2:01. So I'm going to get off that. Next up, this clock. This is for the time. 24-hour clock. You can change it to 12 hours. So hours, then minutes as well. So changing that using the dial. And then this spanner here, this is for some extra settings. So offset, temperature, screen brightness, 12 or 24-hour clock, language, and index, and reset. Okay. And then if you wanted, so with this panel, it will flash off if you're not active on it. It will keep that blue screen for around about 5 minutes, and then it will go to that green screen where you won't be able to see anything, just so it's not a disruptance, just like that. not 5 minutes with this one. Depends on the type that it is, but there we go. Ow. I'll just mention as well, for the heating comes out of vents scattered throughout the caravan. So there's ones at the front and ones at the back. Now this next bit you may think is very, very simple, but it does catch a few people out. It's how to operate the toilet. So once you have done whatever on the toilet and you want to get rid of that waste, whatever it may be, poo, pee, sick, who cares, you have your flush button just here. Now there is no water inside. I did show you outside how to fill up the tank for it, but what you'll be able to hear is the motor for it, which is what would spit out the water. So, not spit out, flush. So press in this button here. Don't know if you'll pick it up on video. It's like a slight buzzing noise, I'm not sure. Let me try again. Not sure if that picked up on video. I can hear it though, and I do know that it works. Then once you've done that, just below you have this catch here. Push the catch away from you and that opens that up. Bring it back, that closes it up. So once you've done whatever, press the flush button, open up the catch, releases it into the cassette toilet down below, and then pull the catch back towards you. Okay, next up we have the fridge. You can see right now that the fridge is on. You have these nice blue lights illuminating, and that's showing that it's all on. So that's when it's up towards 12 o'clock, that's off. You can see you've got this circle here, that's off. This plug here, that's for using mains as the power source. This one here is for using car battery as the power source. Obviously I won't be able to show you car battery today as there's none plugged in. And then you have gas. So let's say I want to use mains, twist this to the side, get it on mains just like that. You can see the blue light is illuminating and that means it's on. Car battery, when I've got my car hooked on to the caravan, I can switch it to car battery and use it like that. Obviously because there's no car battery on right now, you can see it's flashing. So we'll change that to gas. Now with gas, the only difference is with this is that you have these three things that are important. This here is like your dial for the power. So the thicker the line, the more power is coming into the fridge to chill it. So the thicker the line, the quicker it will chill. It does take around 4 hours for it to be fully chilled. But let's say I was using gas. Now to use gas, you have these two here. This button, and this presses in as well. You want to press and hold these two in together. And then you can see this line here does begin to move. Now you want it to be moved into the green area thoroughly. So you don't want it to be just on the edge, you want it to be towards the middle, and then that's about towards the middle. Release, and you want the red line or orange, whatever you want to call it, to sit firmly in that position there. When it sits there and stays there, that means it's lit on gas. Now you will see when I do change it to a different power source, the red line will just slot back to the what's it called, white part. There you can see. So to light it on gas, you have to press and hold these two in whilst having it switched onto the gas dial just down there. You don't have to do that for mains or car battery, it's only gas you have to do that with. And then to turn the fridge off, just like that. And that is situated just on that bar there, so you do have to open it up to sort it out. Next up, we have the hob. So I'll just run through this quickly. The fridge can operate off either gas mains or your car battery. This can only operate off gas minus the electric plate. And then the microwave, the microwave can only operate off mains. One thing for note for the microwave, which is probably the only thing, don't store the glass plate inside the microwave whilst you're travelling. We have stowed it underneath the pillows on the left hand side sofa. So for this is very standard to any other type of gas cooker. You have this switch here, press in and you can hear the clicks. So what you want to do, press in that button, press and hold that in, and at the same time you want to press in on the dial and twist it to the side. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like when all of these are lit. And now, as we say, we are cooking on gas. So temperature dial, twist it anti-clockwise and you can see that the flame does get smaller. As you can see, that's maximum flame, then minimum flame down there. But what you're looking for is a nice clean blue continuous flame. Then to turn them all off, 1, 2, 3, put it all back to the central position and shuts it off just like so. For the electric plate, you don't have to press this in. All you have to do is twist to the side and you'll have that red light pop up as well. And again, turn it off, back to the central position. Now, I'll just show you as well, this icon here for the grill, that icon there for the oven. I'll just show you that both of these light as well. Okay, and that has turned the flash on my camera for some reason. But as you can see, you have both sides lit. And again, with this nice blue continuous flame. Then to turn it off, back to the central position, just like so. And now for the oven. And again, I don't know why my flash has come on, but you've got this nice blue continuous flame yet again. The only difference with this is it does get hotter the more you move it anti-clockwise. And again, standard to any type of oven, you obviously do need to preheat it. And again, nice blue clean continuous flame, turn it off, back to the central position just like so. This glass plate though, however, do not put it down until all 4 of them are cold to the touch, as it may shatter. So that is near enough everything you should need to know on how to operate your Bailey Pegasus brindisi. If you do have any questions, don't be afraid to just give us a call or send us a message. I've been Henry and I'll see you in the next one. Transition. Cheers.